Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices, and you can sign up for product alerts. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. You're about to see my Allegro 1-minute overview and final thoughts. This is designed to see if this game warrants more of your time. If it does, just keep watching because then you'll see my full intro overview and final thoughts. However, if you don't want to be spoiled anything and you want to skip right to the full review, use the time index below in YouTube. MindBug is a dueling card game co-designed by Richard Garfield where you're trying to play cards to deplete your opponent's life to 0. Games are really quick, you only have 3 life points and totally 10 cards, 5 of which are in hand at the beginning of the game. Turns are very simple, play a card or attack with a character. Maybe they play this and another player plays this. But if this player now attacks, well, it beats it 10-3, it's defeated, but it's poisonous, so this card dies as well. So when this player played this character, well, that player played the MindBug, which steals that card from that player, puts it on their side as if they played it, and now this player gets to play again. But you only get 2 of these, so you're trying to find the right time to use it and draw them out from your opponent to put your best cards right after that. Now with the different abilities, smaller cards aren't always bad, it's always the right card based upon what your opponent has, a brilliant design. MindBug is a clever tactical card game with nice vibrant art, cartoony, and it fits the style and length of this game. Simple mechanism, play a card or activate a card. That's it. The timing and the order of cards is everything. Some cards, even all of them, seem overpowerful, but they really aren't because there's a counter for everything, and if not, you can play those MindBugs, change the game, and put that card in front of you like you played it. It's awesome, so simple but so great. You're trying to draw the MindBugs out with fake threats so that when their MindBugs are gone, your real threat can hit them. Pre-constructed decks. You don't have to worry about chasing cards or buying singles. Draw 5 cards and start super quick. No resources or costs in the game. New players are at a disadvantage, and I really wish the playmats were a little bit more functional. But overall, this is a fantastic game. If you like there's also a 4-player variant, but if you like combat card games, this is the most streamlined, most interesting one I played maybe ever. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we are going to be taking over your minds and taking your thoughts and stealing them from you and using them against you. Today we're going to be taking a look at MindBug. This is a dueling card game. One of the co-designers is actually Richard Garfield. Might have heard him before. He's the one that made Magic the Gathering, King of Tokyo, Keyforge, and many others. This is again, a 2-player little card game that has a 4-player variant. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. MindBug is a dueling card game co-designed by the one, the only Richard Garfield, where you're trying to deplete the other player from their life points. And the biggest twist in this game is that not only are you going to be playing different cards with abilities, but you have the ability to MindBug one of those cards and take it as if you played it. Let's show you how it plays. Now the idea behind this game is it comes in this nice little tuck box. All the cards are in there. It's very simple. It's a pre-constructed deck. You don't have to chase cards or add decks or draft. You just literally open the deck and give each player 10 cards. Now from those 10 cards, you draw 5 of them. So you start the game with half of the cards that you're gonna get because you don't get any more by default. Each player gets 3 lives, which are just 3 cards face down, and each player gets 2 MindBugs, and this is really the big twist in the game. The game is played very simply. Win if all your opponent's life points are gone. Turns are super simple. Play a card or attack with a character. You play a card, you put it in front of you, there you go. However, here's the twist. If the other player wants to MindBug them, you only get 2 of these per game, they can spend this and then they take the card that you played and they put it in front of them and activate anything as if they played it. So you have to know when and when not to play things and when they have their MindBug. Because you're going to be trying to put things out there to possibly make them waste their MindBug so you can really bring out the cards that you want to bring out. Now, they all have an attack value, so let's say that this one has a power of 10. Let's say they didn't MindBug. So let's say it's the other player's turn and they play this card. Now, normally they'd be facing the other way, but I'm just putting this here so you can see them. That's the 6. And this has an ability, it says defeated. So if this card gets defeated, you get to steal 2 random cards from the opponent's hand. So now it's back to this player. They can play another card, or they can attack with this one. If they attack with this one, this player gets to decide which creature is going to defend. Well, this is the only one they're going to defend. It's a 10, beats a 6, so this one would get defeated and it's out of the game. However, they're at least going to be able to steal 2 random cards from the opponent's hand. Now, if this number matched this, then they both get defeated. However, instead, let's say this player played the Spider Owl. It's only a 3, not very powerful, but it has poisonous and sneaky. Poisonous is if this player now attacks this player, they only have one card that they can defend with. They decide to defend with this. This one's going to get beat because it's 10-3, but poisonous kills the character because it poisoned them, so they're both gone, so this player wouldn't attack with them. They'd start to build up some other strategy. So depending on which card you play back and forth, many cards just seem overpowered, but it doesn't matter because each card has some sort of counter to it. And again, boom, everybody has the MindBug. So this player could have played this card out like this, and knowing what their plan was, this player could have said, I'm going to MindBug this card, so now it's mine, hoping they don't have any poisonous left and things like that. So it's really interesting. So simple. Play a card, attack with a card, that's it. Now, after you're done playing a card, or as soon as you play a card, you draw back up. But at some point, you only have 5 cards here. At some point, that's it. Once you have your 5 cards drawn, you have to play the rest of the game with just these cards. And if you can't play a card or attack, then you lose. It's another way of losing. So the game's very quick. 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So let's show you some of the other cards and keywords, like the Shark Dog is a hunter. When you attack, instead of the opponent choosing which one defends, you get to say which one they're attacking. And then when you attack, you get to defeat an enemy with a creature of the power 6 or more, and that's separate from him trying to attack with his 4. This one, the Luchator, kind of like a Minotaur, is 9, and he has Frenzy, which means once it attacks, if it survives its attack, it gets to attack a second time, and that's huge. A big number and being able to attack twice is crazy, but don't forget, other players are MindBug. You're going to play that, they're going to steal it from you. So you got to play it at the right time or draw out their MindBugs first. Chameleon Sniper is only a 1, but it is sneaky, which means it can only be blocked by other sneaky creatures. So if the other player doesn't have a sneaky creature, you play this one. When it attacks, the opponent loses a life point. Oh my gosh. Boom, boom, boom. You only have 3 life points. So very interesting how these things interact with each other. And we get to see some other things, like this one, when you play it, you get to play a card from your discard pile, or defeat an enemy creature with a power 7 or more right when you play it, or the opponent discards 2 cards, for example. I'm not going to show you all the cards, but here's some other ones that are some of my favorites. Tough is if it gets hit, instead of dying, it exhausts, and if it gets hit again, then it's defeated. So that's pretty cool. Plus, it gives all of the allied creatures a +1 power. This one's an 8, and it has Frenzy, and it has Tough. So it can attack possibly twice, and it's going to be hit twice before it goes away. This one's nuts. When you play it, you get to take your entire discard pile right into your hand. And this one is set your life points equal to the opponent. So you might be down 3-1, play that, boom, you're right back up to 3. Pretty cool. Lots of different strategies here. The timing is everything, and when to use the MindBug really makes this game special. All right, MindBug. Wow. I want to preface this by saying I'm not usually a big fan of combat card games. I actually played Magic in college for a little bit. And then when I left college and I got my first professional job, I kind of left the cards back with my group, and I kind of just was too busy to play and things like that. But typically I don't like, it's just not my nature to like combat card games. It just isn't. So I have that bias here. But even with that being said, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Like, this was a pleasant surprise for me. Not a surprise because if Richard Garfield's involved in something, it's going to be good for many people. But often it's not my cup of tea. So for this one, I love that it's a clever tactical card game that's super, super easy. Let's look at the art. The art itself, I love that they went with like a lighter, sort of vibrant, cartoony style art. I don't like those combat games that have like really dark creatures and this and that. Personally, I don't like that. And I like that they went with the lighter art because this is a shorter, more compact game. And so it should be something that's a little bit more approachable from that length, and I like that it sort of matches the game length. Simple mechanism. This game is so streamlined. I love it. It's like play a card or attack with a card. That's literally it. Granted, it can get a little hairy with, oh, you have this ability and this and this, and how do these two interact together? You're always going to have that with card games with abilities. They do have an FAQ up, and they're always adding to that. I love that there's sort of the timing and order of cards. As I showed in the overview, I come out with that Luchador, and if you don't have a poisonous person to block that with, or this frog that I didn't show you that if you defeat it, it automatically kills the other person, things like that. Like the timing is so important, and it's like everything is based upon what the other player is doing. The interaction here is amazing. Like, that card is great sometimes, but it's absolutely worthless other times, as I showed you. You're not going to play that card if another player is poisonous, or you're not going to attack with it because it's got to be gone, right? But if the other player doesn't have poisonous, they're out of cards, then you want to play it. But maybe you don't, because maybe they still have the MindBug and they're going to steal it from you because you don't have any poisonous, and now you're going to be dead. It's just so brilliant. The timing, you're looking at your hand and going, oh, I want to play this, this, and this. And then as soon as the other player plays a card, your plan has to completely change. I love that. I like that some of the cards like that one, and all of them kind of, in their own way are all overpowered. But they aren't really, because there is a counter for every card in the game, at least one. And if there isn't because it's already used, well, you got your MindBugs. So people are going to complain, like when I first played this game, there were some interesting things where it's like, wow, that card is just too overpowered. You just destroyed me with it. Well, but after you play it a few times and you realize that like, oh, yeah, there was a counter for that. I just didn't have it, but I shouldn't have let you play it. If I knew I didn't have a counter for it in my hand, then I should have MindBugged it for it. And you know what? If I didn't have a card that played it and I already used both my MindBugs, then kudos to you because you were able to draw out my MindBugs before I had a chance to combat that, and you won. Shake your hand. Great, you did it. It's just so clever. You're really trying to draw the MindBugs out. My favorite game of all time is Baseball Highlights 2045. It's a combative two-player card game in the baseball theme. And it has this similar mechanism where it's like, you know the other player has a card that can stop everything of this huge, powerful card that you just bought. And in this case, in this game, you're not buying cards, which is another awesome thing. But it's like, they know you have this card, you know they have that card, but they don't know what else you have. And so you're trying to like put something out there that's just good enough and gonna hurt them just enough that they waste that card that's gonna cancel the card you really want. So you're trying to draw out those MindBugs to really put your real threat out there. You're trying to make them think this is the threat. This is what you need to MindBug. And you also need to do it in order that's like, if they do MindBug that, you gotta make sure it's a card that you can handle against, because now it's going against you. It's so simple, but so brilliant. It is just so smooth, I love it. I love that there's pre-constructed decks. You're not worrying about, oh, you got this deck, oh, we're gonna draft, or this. It's literally, open the deck, draw 10 cards, draw 5 from those, let's start. Like, it takes 10 seconds to set this game up, and it's so good. Drawing the 5 cards, you have half your cards in your hand at the start. I think I showed in the overview that if you run out of cards or you can't attack, you lose. I've lost that way before. That's kind of cool. The game's so quick. No resources or no costs to worry about. You have to worry about an economy and this and that. It's so streamlined. Everything's on the cards. Everything's about timing. I love it. On the negative side of things, definitely if you're a new player, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you don't know which cards counter other cards great. You don't know which ones to hold on to. You don't really know the timing and the thing of when to use the MindBugs, and you're probably going to get destroyed at first. But the learning curve is so quick on this, it's just a nitpick, really, because you're going to learn after 3 or 4 games, and they only take like 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be ready to be competitive. It's just all a matter of what your strategy is going to be. Also, so this game was on Kickstarter, and I think right now it's in like late pledges where you could like pledge for it. It's going to be coming out later this year. They had some playmats, and I realized that there's not like an alignment formation in front of you in this game and stuff, but the playmats are the artwork of the cards. I really would have liked it to have had artwork of the cards around, but also had it be a little bit more functional. Like have little spots for your life points, have little spots for your MindBugs, have a little spot for your draw deck and your discard deck. I think it just would have been a little bit more functional. Again, there's not like it's pretty vague of what you do with the cards in this game, of where you put them and such, but I would have rather seen something like that. Also, the small tuck box is great because I can put it in my car, my pocket, go to the restaurant, play it with you. It's awesome. But I also think that it's going to hold the game back because if you go to a store, let's just say this game gets into retail, and you go to a store and you see this little box, you're just going to look at it and go, the box doesn't describe how big and awesome of a game this is. And I think that's going to possibly hold it back. Now, there is a bigger box on the Kickstarter to the late pledge, but you have to get the $60 with both playmats in order to get that box. I wish they would have had like a Keyforge size box for this, just to make it like have a little more presence so people know that they're getting a pretty big game, even if it could have fit in a tuck box. Most games can actually fit in a tuck box that are in bigger boxes these days. It's a negative, just like it might hurt the game in retail if it ever goes that way. But anyway, again, I started this review by saying I'm not typically into combat card games, and I'm really not. But this one is, I really like it. It's awesome. And if you do like combat games, I think you're going to love this too. But there you go. This has been the Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships through board games, and helping you on the next one you'll love. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing, thematic, premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.